Hey and welcome back to a new video. So I haven't filmed a proper sit-down makeup video for quite some time now and I kind of miss it on my channel. I kind of changed around my makeup routine a little bit since I came to New Zealand. So I thought I'd share with you what I'm currently doing to my face on a day-to-day basis. It's a very dewy look. If you follow Hailey Bieber, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. She always has this perfect, really dewy, glossy, kind of glass skin in a way. So she always looks really moisturized and very shiny. I don't think I'm quite as there yet as Hailey Bieber is, but I give my best and I want to share with you my tips and tricks. Currently I don't have anything on my skin, so the first thing I would do in summer is to apply an SPF. I find when you apply SPF before you do your makeup, which you should do anyway, but if you apply SPF to your face beforehand, you get the most glowy sheen. It's kind of like a really glowy primer, which I haven't so far achieved with any other primer. I feel like SPF is like the best thing you can do if you want to have a glowy skin. This one here is an SPF 50 from Neutrogena, which I really love because it sinks into the skin very quickly, but it still gives me this nice sheen, so it's quite easy to apply makeup on top of it. I did bring an alternative in case you don't want to use SPF in winter, which is the Hello Fab Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer Moisturizer. When you put it on, it's just a really nice moisturizer by itself, but it also primes the skin and leaves it kind of dewy for when you want to put makeup on. But for today, we're going to use SPF because here in New Zealand, it's currently peak summer. As you can't tell, I'm actually sweating a little bit. And just without anything else on it, you already have quite a glowy face. I don't really use foundation in summer. I use tinted moisturizers. I used the Rare Beauty one today. I'm not too picky about tinted moisturizers. I just find this one quite good. Works quite well for me, and again, just apply this everywhere. I feel like in the last year, starting with the glass skin and then with this kind of dewy look in general, is really popular, and I really get why. It literally looks like you have the most healthy, plump looking skin. For this look, I normally always use my fingers. I never use brushes to apply foundation or concealer. And then if you do have some spots as I do and the tinted moisturizer doesn't cover it up, I do like to use a concealer, which this one here is from Maybelline. And I feel like lighter concealers like these ones that don't have too much coverage are much easier to work with looks like these because they blend in much nicer. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. I have this hydrating mist, which is from, I think you pronounce this Lumen, I'm not quite sure. But every now and then, I kind of in between steps, sometimes even before I start applying any makeup, I like to kind of spray this over my face just to keep everything hydrated. And it smells really good as well. I do want to apply a little bit of bronzer and blush as well. I just use a very simple bronzer here, which is from Physicians Formula. It's the butter bronzer. I really want to try the e.l.f. I think it's called Putty Bronzer. Didn't even put any highlighter on yet, and my whole skin is really glowy. And on top of that, which again is super extra, and you definitely don't have to do that, but I have this palette here. This is from Burberry. I feel like it's very similar to the Hourglass palettes. These blushes and highlighters, and this particular color here as well, I think it's a bronzer. It's way too light for a bronzer for me. They all have really nice sheen to it. And as I said, this bronzer color here is a little bit too light for me. But what I'm gonna do is I take a little bit and just go over the bronzer I've just applied. So basically to layer a little bit of sheen over the bronzer. Then moving on to blush, I have the Rare Beauty blush in Nearly Neutral, which is this creamy blush here. And again, I'm just going to use my finger and apply it on the apples of my cheek. I feel like the trick to any dewy glass skin look is that you can't see any edges and everything is really blended in and worked into your skin, so it looks like your natural skin. Let's be honest, I probably didn't even need blush today. I'm so hot, it's literally boiling outside and all of the windows are closed so you can't hear. Well, I hope you can't hear the crickets and everything from outside. And again, you could totally leave it here, but what I want to do is apply a little bit of this blush again on top of it to give it a bit more of a sheen and also to kind of set it in place, because I feel like the Rare Beauty blush, it looks really nice, but it fades away very quickly as well on me, so I kind of want to set it in place. I feel like there was way too much blush. I'm gonna go over with a clean brush because I feel like That was a little bit too much. I think that looks cute. Okay, next up I'm gonna use a highlighter, and again I prefer a liquid product, which is from Beauty Pie. It's quite old already. I feel like I need to replace it at some point, but you can't ship Beauty Pie to New Zealand, so I also kind of don't want to get rid of it. I think that's enough. I don't need too much. Okay, so I do want to have a little bit of powder as well. I think, unfortunately I don't have it. I think the Hourglass one, the ambient lighting powder, would be really nice here because it gives you a nice sheen as well. But I don't have it, so I'm going to use a normal powder very carefully, just under my eyes where I like to crease quite a bit. And then also just here on the side of my nose. I always find if you powder the side of your nose, it kind of makes your pores look much smaller. And then also a tiny bit just here on my forehead. I think that looks good. Okay, so for my eyebrows, I kind of like to keep them fairly simple and light at the moment. I kind of go through phases where I want to have really dark eyebrows, and at the moment I'm just like, just give me some really simple eyebrows. So I'm gonna use just a brown shadow and fill in some of the gaps I have. Just like that, really simple, brush it out. I'm gonna use some eyebrow gel as well, and I really need to get a clear eyebrow gel. I went to Glossier and thought the brown one could work really nicely with my eyebrows, but unfortunately the brown one for my eyebrows is just way too dark. They're already quite dark, so I need to get a clear gel. See what I mean? Just get really dark, which I don't like too much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a clean spoolie and just run it through a little bit to get some of the product off and kind of stick them into place a little bit more. Okay, I think the base looks really good so far. I really like it. Again, gonna use a little bit of my hydrating mist. And then let's move on to the eyes. So what I really like at the moment is just a wash of color on my eyes. So I just use one of these eyeshadow pencils from Beauty Pie. I know Laura Mercier does really good ones as well. This one's actually a dupe for the Laura Mercier ones. So if you want to have a cheaper one, have a look at the Beauty Pie. I think they literally do them in the same lab. And then I'm going to use my finger and just blend it in. Again, I like to use a cream product because I feel like it blends into the skin much better. And as I said, I prefer when all of the products kind of melt into the skin. And this one is in the color Huntress, but I think they make really nice colors. They have quite a big color range and they're really not that expensive. I think they're just a few pounds. Okay, I think that looks quite good so far. And I'm gonna go back into this color here, which I try to use as an eyeshadow as well because I don't really use it on my skin too much and I feel like it would go to waste. That was just Nick driving by me on his motorbike. Okay, so I'm gonna use this color here and just dab it into the middle of my eyelid just to kind of brighten it up a little bit more. And I'm gonna use one of the highlighters as well and then go into the inner corner just to brighten up things even more. I feel like the glowier, the better. For mascara, I'm going to use the Rimmel Thrill Seeker Wonder Volume Mascara. I did do a whole video where I reviewed the mascara for you, so I'm going to link it. I'm not quite sure on which side, somewhere up there for you. I think it's quite a good mascara. Not my favorite one, but it does the job and I definitely want to use it up. And again, if you feel like your mascara is too clumpy, I really like these little spoolie brushes just to kind of go over a little bit, separate the lashes a bit more and get rid of any clumps. I feel like my under eyes need a little bit more powder. I might actually use the little sponge that comes with the powder. Just apply it directly here. And to finish things off, lipstick. I personally really like some kind of like glossy and juicy lip, but I still want to have a little bit of color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a lip liner, which is very similar to my lips, and kind of overline them a little bit, not too much. Just kind of fill them out and make them a bit more plump looking. And then on top of that I either put some sort of lip balm or lip gloss, but today I picked this lipstick here, which is from MAC and it's called Naked Bud, which I think is the coolest name. And this one is kind of just a glossy lipstick. It has this kind of like shimmer particles in it, if you can see. So it's just a really glossy kind of lipstick. And this is the finished makeup look. It's just basically a really glowy makeup look, and I really, really love it. I love when the skin is just like so juicy looking. I just feel like it looks so much more natural than a full-on heavy foundation with loads of powder products on top of it, and it's what I currently wear all the time. But that was everything. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. That would really help me to grow and support my channel, and give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what is your favorite kind of makeup look. Do you prefer like a full-on heavy makeup look or more of a dewy one, the way kind of I did it, although it is a little bit on the heavier side as well what I've done today. I kind of wanted to play with makeup, I felt like it today, but you can definitely skip a lot of the steps. Anyway, I stop rambling now. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!